Hello everyone, good afternoon. I hope you have had a good lunch. So today, okay, let's sit together. Yeah, before I start, let's prepare yourself because the thing that we are going to share is interesting. It's more like a humanitarian topic. And it's part of our collaborations with World Vision Bangladesh. So with me today, I'm not alone. I have my colleague Hani Pambuena, our GIS analyst. Also from World Vision Bangladesh, we have Dr. Rahul Matthew, the Deputy Director, and also Rahat, a manager of disaster and emergency affairs. And today we are going to talk about Dhaka Drive, our pilot project, to map slum area in North Dhaka, specifically Mirpur area. And yeah, this session, we won't have a slide. So there are three general parts of this talk. First, we are going to show you the video of the project. The second one, my colleague Hani will demonstrate the dashboard that we have created that can also accessible for everyone from the Dhaka Drive. And the last but not least, we are going to have open discussions for you who has an interest to talk more about the Dhaka Drive and probably some of the possible collaborations as well in the future with us. So those three things that we are going to cover for our session. So first, let's play the video for Dhaka Drive project. Enjoy the video.
Is one of the fastest growing megacities in the world. While the city is expanding rapidly, it also faces numerous pressing challenges. Rapid urbanization in Dhaka has significantly contributed to the growth of slum areas and informal settlements. Overcrowding, inadequate urban planning and climate change are some of the problems these settlements face. These areas are highly susceptible to climate-related and man-made hazards like waterlogging, fires, disease outbreaks, and urban heat waves. This is further compounded by poor housing and limited access to healthcare, sanitation, and waste management. To tackle these challenges, multi-sectoral efforts must be made to understand them. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, is one of the fastest growing megacities in the world. While the city is expanding rapidly, it also faces numerous pressing challenges. Rapid urbanization in Dhaka has significantly contributed to the growth of slum areas and informal settlements. Overcrowding, inadequate urban planning and climate change are some of the problems these settlements face. These areas are highly susceptible to climate-related and man-made hazards like waterlogging, fires, disease outbreaks, and urban heat waves. This is further compounded by poor housing and limited access to healthcare, sanitation, and waste management. To tackle these challenges, multi-sectoral efforts must be made to understand their vulnerabilities, particularly through more reliable open map data that can help inform stakeholders' planning processes. An open-source geospatial database will be a necessary foundation for better and more systematic urban planning. Therefore, the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, through Open Mapping Hub Asia Pacific, in collaboration with World Vision Bangladesh, developed a community-led open mapping project called Dhaka Thrive. This project aims to collect and develop open map data that can support vulnerability analysis of Dhaka's settlements. To achieve this, the project catalyzes open data ecosystems where all stakeholders, including local government, NGOs, private sectors, youths and communities, can work together to capture local knowledge and realities on the ground through open mapping efforts. Dhaka Thrive Phase 1 focuses on the Mirpur sub-district, a bustling neighborhood in the northern part of Dhaka, home to several densely populated slums. Local communities are trained on open mapping tools such as OpenStreetMap, OpenDataKit, and Mapillary. By leveraging these skills, local communities conducted open mapping in the slum settlements to capture priority data, identified in an earlier multi-stakeholder engagement workshop, such as buildings, roads, critical lifeline facilities, and also street-level imagery.
So, আমাদের প্রধান কাজ হচ্ছে এখানে বিভিন্ন ধরনের ফ্যাসিলিটিগুলো কি কি আছে, যেমন ওয়াটার সোর্স আছে কতগুলো, তারপরে স্যানিটাইজেশন এরকম আছে, প্রেয়ার জায়গা কতজনের আছে, এসব রিলেটেড এরকম জিনিসগুলো আমরা আইডেন্টিফাই করি এবং আইডেন্টিফাই করার পরে আমরা সেগুলোকে আমরা আমাদের ডাটা কালেকশন যে ওটিকে মোবাইল বেস সফটওয়্যার আছে সেখানে ইনপুট করি। সো ওভারঅল এই ডাটাগুলো কালেকশন করার পরে আমরা একটা অ্যাপ যেখানে হচ্ছে কোবো2 বক্স, সেখানে আমরা ডাটাগুলো নিয়ে ভেরিফাই করে সো তারপরে আমরা আমাদের ওএসএম গাইডলাইন অনুযায়ী সেগুলোকে আপলোড করি।
The open map data collected through the exercise helped reveal insights into 3 critical hazards in the slum settlements: flood risks, dengue hotspots, and fire hazards.
আরেকটা পার্ট হচ্ছে রিস্ক নিয়ে কাজ করি আমরা। তো এখানে কি কি ধরনের রিস্ক আছে, যেমন হচ্ছে ওপেন ড্রেনেজ হতে পারে, তারপর ফ্লাডের এরিয়া হতে পারে, যেখানে পানি জমলে ডেঙ্গুর মতো ম্যালেরিয়ার মতো রোগ হতে পারে।
Analysis of satellite imagery revealed that since 2017, slum settlements have expanded into existing water bodies and vegetation, further increasing the risk of floods for vulnerable populations. Analysis of the data with local communities also revealed that flood risk further compounds the dengue risk faced by the slum communities. As floods pass through open waste dumps, it spreads waste across the settlement, creating more favorable habitats for mosquito breeding. To date, the pilot phase in 2024 has mapped 7,700 buildings, 12 kilometers of roads, and 696 critical lifeline facilities with the support of local and international communities, adding an additional layer of open data that complements findings from remote sensing to develop more comprehensive and accurate vulnerability analysis.
সেজন্যই এটা সার্ভে, এটা করলে আমাদের জন্য ভালো, আমাদের এলাকার জন্য ভালো, আমাদের এলাকার শিশু নিরাপত্তার জন্য ভালো। আমরা জানতে পারবো আমাদের এলাকার কোন কোন জায়গায় বিপদ চিহ্ন সেটা চিহ্নিত করতে পারবো। তাছাড়া আমাদের এলাকায় শিশুদের জনসংখ্যা, শিশুরা কতটা শিশু স্কুলে যাচ্ছে, তারা ধরে পড়তেছে, সেগুলো সংখ্যাও চলে আসবে সার্ভের মাধ্যমে। আমাদের অনেক কিছুই চলে আসে তথ্যগুলো, সেটা দিয়ে আমরা কাজ করতে পারবো। এই জন্য এই সার্ভে আমাদের অনেক জরুরি।
এটা করে এটা উপকার হয়েছে যে কোন জায়গায় মসজিদ আছে, কোন জায়গায় পাম্প আছে, কোন জায়গায় বাথরুম আছে, এগুলো ওনারা খুঁজে খুঁজে বের করে এটা বেবের মাধ্যমে ওরা পাই করতে।
Yes, that's the video for Dhaka Thrive that also explain the intentions of why we are doing these collaborations with World Vision in Dhaka. And now we have done the project, we finished the project, and my colleague Hani will share with you or demonstrate with you the dashboard that we created for the project area, and it also can be available for everyone. So Hani, please take your time.
So, hi everyone, can you hear me clearly? Okay, so for our Dhaka Thrive UMap dashboard demonstration, so this will be very quick, but later on you will be able to access the dashboard yourself and you can explore it on your own. So, just to give you a guideline or tutorial on So this is the result of the Dhaka Thrives Phase 1. And we have here all of the critical lifeline infrastructures, hazard points that we collected, and the 3 main hazard layers that we generated for this Phase 1 project. So we have flood hazards, we have dengue hotspots, and lastly, we have fire hazards. So this is the default view of the dashboard, and just by looking at the map, you can already see the slum boundaries. And if you click on the slum boundary, it will show you some information about how many critical lifeline facilities such as pharmacies, water access, water taps, water wells, and places of worship are found there in one of the slum area. And this is because this dashboard is fully interactive. So you can click on any feature and it will show you different types of information that you could use for different use cases. So since there is a lot of things to look at this dashboard, we have provided you a short guideline or tutorial here on the side panel on how to navigate the dashboard. So if you can see here, start here. It directs you on this panel, and the first step is to scroll down below and choose the hazard layer that you want to explore. So we have flood, we have dengue, and we have fire. So if I scroll down below, I'll be able to see those layers. So I just have to click on the view button, and it will give me the hazard layer that I want. So this is flooding, this is for dengue, and this is for fire. And actually, you can even try to overlay them together, such as the flooding. And then, if you see here, I will overlay the dengue hotspots. So again, flooding, dengue hotspots. And you can see that there is a relationship between the flooding layer and the dengue hotspots, wherein those areas with high susceptibility to flooding are also high susceptibility to dengue. So for this demo, let's just stick to flooding for now, and let's go back to our tutorial. So for the second step, we need to zoom in to an area that we want to further explore, and we have different ways to do that. So if you are actually in a slum area at that point that you are using this dashboard, you can just use the locate button here. This is the locate button, and it will immediately zoom in to where you are standing. But since we're not in Mirpur right now, I'm not going to click that because it will direct us to Cox's Bazar. So for those who have a specific slum in mind, you have the name of the slum that you want to explore, you can use the search bar and look for that specific slum. So for now, since I have loaded the flooding layer, I want to go to an area that has a high susceptibility to flooding. So I'm going to zoom in at this specific slum, and it is called Gudaragat. So are you familiar with Gudaragat? So those who are familiar, can you raise their hand? Gudaragat, yes. So if I click on this slum settlement, it will give me some insights about the critical lifeline facilities that are found in that slum. And as you can see, there is a couple of public toilets found, very many actually, but there is lack of health care facilities such as clinics. No clinics were found in Gudaragat. So that is a very important issue and challenge. Also, no pharmacies were found in Gudaragat. And if we try to close this for now, actually the nearest pharmacy is found in New Permitola. So New Permitola has one pharmacy. So imagine this specific pharmacy should give service to both New Ormitola and Gudaragat communities. So that is a very pressing issue. The accessibility to healthcare facilities. So again, going back to Gudaragat, let us see this very interesting data wherein we have collected street level imagery, and if you play this using Mapillary, it will give you a sense of as if you are walking in the pathways of Gudaragat, and you will be able to see and observe the condition of the communities who live there. Alright, so going back to our dashboard, aside from the slum settlements, there are a lot of features that we can see here. So we have the hazard points. Let us try to click on one of the hazard points here. So this gives us a validation that indeed in that area, there is stagnant water observed and flooding really occurring on that alleyway. So this gives us proof that these areas are actually high susceptibility to flooding and that our hazard layer is somehow accurate. So let us also check some of the critical lifeline facilities. So here are the legend of the critical lifeline facilities, but I will just click a couple because later on you can have access and explore this dashboard on your own. So let me click on this specific one because this is very important to know. So there is a kindergarten in Gudaragat slum that is found in a relatively high level of flood susceptibility. And the maximum capacity of enrollees for this kindergarten is 50 students. So imagine if there is a flood occurrence, flood event in this area, and then 50 students are actually at risk in that area. So what are the things that could help us mitigate that risk for these children? So these are the things that we want people to be able to use our data for. So for phase 1, we have collected a lot of these types of data. But for our next phase, hopefully, we can use this data in different use cases. So that is the end of our demonstration. But later on, if you have any questions, you can just, I'm just there and you can just come up to us and we will give you the link to the dashboard and you can explore it on your own.
And now, as I said, we are going to have a final stage of this talk. So we are going to have an open discussion for the next 10 minutes. So everyone who really want to also ask to Rahul and Rahat, also to me and Hani, feel free. So yeah, probably we can sit all of us, 4 of us in the front, and you guys can raise your hand if you have any questions. Anyone have a question to ask? Or follow up? You can also ask another one.
কারো কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে কিনা এই ব্যাপারটা নিয়ে? এটা খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং একটা বিষয়। আপনারা বাংলাতেও প্রশ্ন করতে পারেন, ফিল ফ্রি। তো কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে কিনা, যেটা আমরা কেন করেছি, কোথায় করেছি, আমাদের উদ্দেশ্যটা কি ছিল, বা এটা নিয়ে আসলে করে লাভ কি হবে, অনেক রকম প্রশ্ন থাকতে পারে। আচ্ছা, ফিউচার ডেটা যে আমরা মূলত যেটা যে ম্যাপিংটা করার চেষ্টা করেছি, আমরা পার্টিকুলার একটা লোকেশনে, আপনারা সবাই জানেন যে আমরা মিরপুরে করেছি, মিরপুরে 40টা ইনফর্মাল সেটেলমেন্ট আছে, সেখানে আমরা ম্যাপিংটা করার চেষ্টা করেছি। কারণ আমাদের প্রথম যে কনসার্ন ছিল, আমরা অ্যাজ এ অর্গানাইজেশন ওয়ার্ল্ড ভিশন, আমরা আমাদের যে প্রায়োরিটি সেটা হচ্ছে চিলড্রেনদের জন্য কাজ করা। তো চিলড্রেনদের জন্য কাজ করা বলতে অ্যাজ এ হোল আমরা চাইল্ড প্রোটেকশন থেকে শুরু করে এভরিথিং নিয়ে কাজ করি। তো মিরপুরে আমরা মোস্ট ভালনারেবল কমিউনিটিতে এই ম্যাপিংটা করার চেষ্টা করেছি। আমরা চেষ্টা করেছি তাদের রিস্ক এবং ভালনারেবিলিটিস গুলোকে আইডেন্টিফাই করতে। মূলত আমাদের উদ্দেশ্য ছিল যে আমরা যেন তাদের জন্য যে সার্ভিসগুলো আছে সেগুলোকে অ্যাক্সেসিবল করতে পারি এবং যে কোনো প্রোটেকশনটাকে এনশিওর করতে পারি। সো এই ক্ষেত্রে আমরা খুবই পার্টিকুলার একটা লোকেশনে একটা পাইলট বেসিসে করেছি। ইন ফিউচার আমাদের প্ল্যান হচ্ছে এটাকে আরো ব্রড আঙ্গিকে করা। আমরা নর্থ সিটি কর্পোরেশনে শুধু ফোকাস করেছি। এখন আমরা নেক্সট যে ঢাকা থ্রাইভের যে সেকেন্ড ফেজ, এর পরবর্তীতে আরো যদি থার্ড ফেজ ফোর্থ ফেজ আসে, সেক্ষেত্রে আমাদের প্রায়োরিটি হবে যে সাউথ সিটি কর্পোরেশনে এক্সপ্যান্ড করা আপাতত। তারপরে আমরা যেটা করবো, আস্তে আস্তে আমরা হয়তো পুরো বাংলাদেশেই রিস্ক ম্যাপিংটা করার চেষ্টা করবো। সো এটাই আমাদের ফিউচার টার্গেট। সো লেটস সি আমরা কতদূর করতে পারি।
Yes, so I can also answer the editable. So first, it's accessible for everyone, yes. And second, it is editable through OpenStreetMap. Since the UMAP platform is seamlessly connected and integrated to OSM, whatever change and update you have in OSM, for example, you go to a slum and update the data that we already collected, it will be reflected back to the dashboard.
For me, one of the highlight for these collaborations, because usually when we had like a project with the partner, we create something, we collect the data, and the data will be used internally, right? With World Vision, we think we share some value about how the data, it's not only beneficial for us, for World Visions to support their program internally, but how also the data that we have collected can be really beneficial for all people. Hani probably forget to mention that even in our dashboard, all the data that Hani show, it's really downloadable in certain format. So you can use the data that we have collected and you can use on your own. This is the new spirit of open mapping. Like, if we're talking about OSM, we're talking about not only using the data, but also contributing the data. So I think this is also something that I also want to add regarding this Dhaka Thrive Phase 1.
Good question indeed. I mean, when we were, this is a proof of concept in the first stage. Whether it will work, what is the utility of it, and whether the decision makers are going to use it. So what we have done is we have set up some stakeholder consultations in presenting what we have done for proof of concept phase 1. So we would have to add some more layers. Our predominant goal is to focus predominantly on Dhaka for the first phase, but we would want to come to Khulna, because in Khulna, World Vision has a very large project covering around 10,000 families. So we would be venturing into Khulna soon as well. So we can speak further about how we can partner with open mappers in Khulna as well. So for this project, actually Brazil was involved for this project. So we also use the web gurus as part of the project. Yeah. Let's catch up separately offline. We have a very large project in Khulna start. Any other questions?
I think it's a good one. Especially your work, especially the Islam area, dengue issues, sanitary crisis. But one thing that you can know that recent times the heat wave condition, especially the urban area, especially the slum, because we know that this year prolonged heat wave in Bangladesh, and in recent time we know that the heat wave not only the pre-monsoon season, March, April, March, still now this continue June, July, August, September, even October also sometime temperature rapidly increase above 36 above. That time actually especially affected the slum area, because when the heat wave 1 week or 2 week continue, that time the drinking water very vulnerable that time. So have you planned, have you in future consider the heat wave condition the slum area, because it's very important thing in there.
So when we were actually discussing this project many months ago, when the DNCC setup was there, we were certainly talking about vegetation, we were talking about the tree plantation and all. But that particular layer was very difficult to calculate because we need to have multiple different sensors to set up. We would want to do that.
We also want to do air pollution, because in the context of Dhaka, air pollution is very important. And we also want to do around gender-based violence. So where are security, street lighting, all those things are important. So these three are other layers that we will also want to work on. And this is probably in all the Tier A and Tier 2 cities across Bangladesh as well. Good point.
Addition to the air pollution. One thing that at recent time we researched one thing that especially the winter time, in the month of January, that time the day temperatures are rapidly decreasing due to the pollution. You know that not only the internal pollution, it also transverse pollution also, especially the our northeastern part, Rajshahi, Rangpur division, Moheshi and Dhaka. Dhaka is also huge pollution, local pollution or also transverse pollution. So it is very alarming issue that in recent time, especially the month of January, day temperatures are decreasing. But temperature is, night temperature is okay, above normal, but day temperature is rapidly falling. So it is, so people are saying that the cold wave are moving. Still not cold is, not cold wave. So it also affected especially the slum area. So we must consider also this due to the pollution, due to the foggy condition are increasing in the slum area to hamper the normal work that is program.
Okay, just thank you. Actually, just my addition to that, we have so many potentials especially for these types of user cases like heat wave as well as the cold wave and these types of things. But we, as a pilot, we take very specific issues. In future, we have planned to multiply that. So, so many cases, whatever very specific and usable for us, we will target that and we will set them up like that. So, do you like to share something about the partnership?
We are very happy to partner with agencies. We kept it very open. So it is not just only World Vision uses data. Anybody can use this data, and there are many stakeholders here, many young people here who can actually contribute by using Mapillary more regularly. If there are no questions.
Any more question? Huh? No? Okay, so thank you everyone. Once again, thank you for your attention. This Dhaka Trade Phase 1 is our pilot project. there is a lot of things we can improve together. And one thing that we know for sure, this is really beneficial, not only for us, but also for people, especially those who living in the area of Mirpur. So thank you so much for your attention, and I end our session. And if you have any follow-up questions later on, we have our booth, Rahul and Rahat also here until the end of the day. So yeah, speak to you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.